And then
Oh, okay.
it was over. With the archdemon dead, the Darkspawn horde quickly crumbled. Most fled back into the deep roads.
Don't touch
They
me.
would remain a threat
Damn.
in the years to come. But the blight had been ended before it had truly begun. Ferelden had been saved, and the entire kingdom rose up to joyously greet its new king and queen. Grey Warden stood redeemed, and a new age had begun. But at what cost?
Black screen?
Alright, conscription? What?
Lore tidbit at the last minute, I guess.
My friends, we are gathered to celebrate those responsible for our victory. Of those who stood against the Darkspawn siege of Denerim, there is one in particular who deserves commendation.
I hope.
The one who led the final charge against the Archdemon remains with us still. An inspiration to all she saved that day. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the hero of Ferelden, the first Grey Warden to defeat the Blight since Garahel 4 centuries ago. My friend, it is hard to imagine how you could have aided Ferelden more. I think it only appropriate that I return the favor. Is there any boon that you might request of Ferelden's king? If it is within my power, I will grant it.
There are different
Oh!
options depending on which origin you picked. For example, a title and riches to go with it, I think. I deserve that. But let's go with the origin exclusive option. I ask that the Circle of Magi be given its independence.
You know, that's a very good point. Let it be known, then, that the Circle has earned the right to watch over itself. The tower shall be restored and then turned over to the mages. Let it also be known that the Arling of Amaranthine, once the land of Arl-How, is now granted to the Grey Wardens. There they can rebuild, following the example of those who went before them. What are your plans? Will you remain with the Grey Wardens?
Oh gosh. Well, I don't know yet. We'll see.
Well, I hope you'll stay here in court while you decide. Your skills are sorely needed.
I'm cool with that.
There's a group of Ferelden citizens waiting outside to get a look at their hero. I suggest you make at least a brief appearance before they storm the gate. Just tell the guard at the door when you're ready.
Okay, I guess celebrations are in order.
I like that first person look. That was such a nice scene.
Yeah, it was. What do you think of all this, Al?
So, we made it. I'm impressed, aren't you? The odds were completely against one of us actually getting to the Archdemon. But of course you would make it. I knew you would. I bet this had something to do with that night. With Morrigan. Why you're still here, I mean. I'm not that dumb. The rest of the Grey Wardens haven't arrived yet from Morlaix. But they've already sent questions. What should I
Uh-oh.
tell them?
I don't care what you tell them. You could say Riordan did it.
That a Maleficar saved you and then ran off to have my demon baby? That has a certain ring to it, right? No, I suppose I'll just keep that to myself. I can shrug and look stupid. It's a talent. Speaking of Morrigan, do you know where she went? I'm told she vanished right after the battle. No goodbyes or anything.
She doesn't want to be followed.
Very very dramatic. I don't imagine she'd be easy to find if she didn't want to be. At any rate, I can see Arleman giving me that look. More king stuff, I suppose. I can never wait. And if I don't get the chance some other time, thanks. For everything.
I'm just sad we had to end things like we did.
So am I. I can't tell you how much. I'll let you get to your adoring public. They want to see the hero of Ferelden, and who am I to keep them waiting?
Yeah. Honora's here too. You got anything for me?
Allow me to offer you my personal congratulations, Warden. I must admit that while I did not share my father's pessimism regarding the Grey Wardens, I had my doubts that such a small number of you could be victorious. Yet here you are.
Damn right.
Normally I would call that bravado, but it seems your confidence is deserved. Tell me something.
Thank you.
Is Alistair always like that?
Like what?
Well, he answers every serious question with a jest. Is that normal? Thankfully, he has surprised me with his eagerness to learn the business of ruling. Despite his questionable humor, he may yet be a good king. Oh well. His heart is in the right place. In that he reminds me of Kaelin, which is no failing. Now I see Arleman gesturing to me. There is more work to be done. I must take my leave of you, I fear. Enjoy the rest of the celebration, Warden. I shall speak to you again before the day is done.
Well, anything you say. I always thought wit and good humor were great to have in situations such as this. Let's see.
It's a
here.
sign that you can keep your head cool in a serious situation.
Is this really the time to be, like, scrubbing the floor? Well, okay. Hey, Eamon.
Speaking of the man.
I can barely believe it. You stopped the civil war and then defeated the Blight. On behalf of Ferelden, allow me to say thank you. It truly cannot be said enough.
I'm a Grey Warden. That's what we do.
So I'm learning. It's good that you're staying here in the capital. The hero of Ferelden will have influence, and there is much to be done. Myself, I will be remaining here to help Alistair. Tegan will take over the rule of Redcliffe, at least for the time being. Connor seems well enough, and Isolde refuses to speak of what happened. She says she never wants to go back. I cannot thank you enough for saving them. They are the joy of my existence. Tell me, have you noticed anything strange about the lad? He seems quiet.
Consider what he's been through.
You are no doubt correct. It is my imagination, I'm sure. But here I am rambling on. I shall let you get back to your celebration, Warden. Enjoy it while you can.
So I imagine all the choices you made here finally kind of have their closure now, don't they?
Yes, indeed they do. Irving!
It is very strange to hear so many speak of a mage in such glowing terms. Deserved, of course, but still not what I am accustomed to. Allow me to offer you my congratulations and my thanks. The tower is now nearly restored to order. It could have been so much worse.
It almost was.
Indeed. Let us hope the people never realize how close we came to disaster. It pleases me to see such a young pupil achieve prominence. I look forward to watching what you accomplish next. Now, I should leave you to your celebration. Aldred's revolt has left me very quick to tire these days. Retirement will come soon, I think.
Stay frosty, I guess. By which I mean
I'm
you're getting a cone of cold.
I'm all for letting the mages free, but let's at least try to make sure nothing like what happened with Connor happens again, shall we?
Yes, please use that as an example several times over.
So here we are. The conquering heroine has won the day, and now she takes her bow and exits the stage. A fine ending.
But this isn't a play.
Don't make me cry. I'm always sappy about that kind of stuff.
You should be taking a bow with me.
And my part was
Yeah.
small.
No, it wasn't!
Jesus
No, it wasn't!
That's fun. You know, I can't help now but think of my vision. Whether it was the Maker sending me to you or whatever, it was a good thing. I thought I was supposed to save you, to show you the way. But it seems it was meant to be the other way around. Odd how that works, no?
I think you did plenty.
You're kind to say so, but I think we know who was in charge.
Okay, fair.
I'm thinking of going back to Orlais for a while, to find Marjolaine. I don't know how long I'll be gone.
Are you coming back?
I'll try. This is something I have to do, however, on my own. Perhaps we will see each other when I return. I look forward to it. Until then, take care of yourself.
He's so humble. My god.
Hey, Zev.
I will be relieved when all this pomp and ceremony is done. Such events are perfect opportunities for assassins, after all. I can't help but expect the crows to appear at any moment, which would be a welcome break, mind you.
A bloodbath sounds like a fun idea.
You see? This is why I like you. Always game for a little fun. You know, it does occur to me that staying in one place is only going to invite the crows to find me that much quicker, while fun, that might eventually get complicated. You said earlier that you are planning on remaining here. Is that true?
You aren't thinking of leaving, are you?
Oh, well, now, I don't know. There are interesting things to see and do. And then there's you. I'm torn.
You're welcome to stay.
Then let the crows bring it on. I can mock them while you crush their skulls. I happen to like you. Crazy, isn't it? Well, since I am sticking around, I suppose we'll have plenty of time to speak later, yes? So go on and get paraded about. It's fun to watch. Don't worry. I'll keep an eye on you and make sure no one gets a clear shot. Not without paying me a great deal of coin, anyhow.
Are you saying you could be bought?
The hero of Ferelden. My. How does it feel?
They could have thought up a better name.
Alice's idea, I understand. Which should explain much. But it's not so bad, is it? A blight defeated with the other nations barely becoming aware. Who could ask for better?
I wonder how long the love will last.
Until you do something wrong. And then they will enjoy tearing you down just as rapidly. I'm glad not to be on the receiving end
Ain't that the
of
truth?
something myself. I say, let the young have their fame. Not that I've gone without notice. Irving asked me to take over as first enchanter, but I don't wish to go back. Not after all this. Instead, I've decided to accept a position here at court. There's not been a mage advising the throne for a very long time.
But what about your problem?
It's true. I may not have very much time. But perhaps there is a great deal of good I can do even so. I will try. I understand you are remaining in Denerim, so we will likely see each other a great deal. I look forward to it. For now, I imagine the hero of Ferelden still has much to do. Good luck.
So it seems I got a different ending for Wynne, because sometimes she can mention that she's actually going to travel with Shale for a little while, and those events are detailed in a tie-in novel.
Ooh.
Is anyone else around here? Ogren!
Yo, man.
Humans have a better taste for spirits than I thought. The ale up here is actually good. Orzammar ale tastes like dirt in comparison. Probably because they put dirt in it. Go figure.
Think you might go back to Orzammar?
I don't know. Maybe eventually. I'm getting used to that big sky up there. And I'm thinking I might just look up Felsi again. See where that goes.
Ooh.
That's uncharacteristically optimistic of you.
Yeah, well, you know me. I'm all about the cheery, romantic optimism.
Ah!
No, that pot-bellied son of a whore Tegan said I'd pass out before drinking an entire barrel of pickle juice. I aim to prove him wrong.
Take care of yourself, Ogren. Don't ever change.
I wish there was an option that just goes chug, chug, chug.
Good traveling with you, Warden. Don't get lost in the shuffle now.
Ah. Fuego! I can't talk to Fuego, right? Darn it. No.
Good boy.
I like how he's over here with Sten and another dog. Wait a second. Something's off about this puppy here. Well, I'm sure it's nothing important.
Alrighty.
It is good to see you again, Kadan. These people, they call you hero. It is a strange word, but I think I understand its meaning. The Arishok on occasion has declared a Kunari to be Kunoran Vel, one who serves as an example to others. Such examples are always made after their death, however, a death in service to the Kyun. A living Kunoran Vel would be too proud.
Do the Kunari celebrate and put on parades?
When a Kunoran Vel is declared, certainly. It is one of few occasions
Awesome.
when the Kunari are permitted to engage in revelry. There is imbibing of spirits, public chanting, meditations abandoned. It is madness.
I didn't think the Kunari could enjoy themselves.
We take great joy in every aspect of our lives. The Kyun demands it. I suppose I should tell you. I have decided to return to my people. Your quest is done, and thus so is my reason for accompanying you.
Fair enough.
That will be a long trip home. And I was just starting to get used to you.
And I to you, strangely enough. It must be said. You found my sword and gave me a chance to restore my honor. I owe you a great debt.
He's smiling.
Yeah.
Briefly. You helped me as well. It's been good.
It has. That one of the Baz, a foreigner, would become known as Kadan to me. Unthinkable. Yet here it is. Perhaps I shall see you again one day. Until then, may you always find the path you seek. Farewell, Kadan.
Kadan is a Kunari word that means my heart. Just saying.
That's awesome.
He will always use it in reference to you after finding his sword.
Where is the cake? I was told there would be cake. The cake is a lie.
Yeah!
They just had to slip that in. Did we miss anyone else in all of this?
Also, heck, that's another conspiracy theory. Stop!
I guess that's everyone. Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you ready, my lady? The crowds outside are getting restless.
Restless? What am I supposed to do?
Just put in an appearance, so I understand it. The people just want to see their hero in person. I'm supposed to take you to your escort, full brigade, their armor all shined up and everything. They're really honored to be guarding you, let me tell you.
Let's go then.
Right. I'll take you there now. Follow me.
In the months that followed their wedding, Alistair and Nora proved themselves a surprisingly effective pair. Alistair spent a great deal of time at court, showing willingness to learn the art of governing from Nora and often deferring to her judgment, and no one was more surprised by this than Nora herself. She has no faith. The two of them made numerous outings into Denerim and the other settlements in Ferelden, supervising the reconstruction process and greeting their subjects personally, much to the commoners' enthusiastic approval. Many said the chaos of the Civil War and Landsmeet were worth it for delivering such beloved monarchs.
Aww.
News that the Urn of Sacred Ashes had been found in Ferelden did not spread outside the Chantry until Brother Genetivi made an announcement several months after the defeat of the Darkspawn. The manuscript detailing his research and his experience with Andraste's cult grew huge interest among scholars throughout Thedas.
Wow.
Some years later, the Chantry announced that the resting place of Andraste's ashes had indeed been found. A ripple of excitement spread among the pious people of Thedas, with many undertaking pilgrimages to see the ashes or partake of their healing powers. I hope that urn is self-replenishing.
Seriously.
Following months of effort, the Tower of the Circle of Magi was finally cleansed of the last spirits to slip through the veil. No further abominations were created, and First Enchanter Irving was pleased to declare the circle safe. All that could be saved had been.
Yes.
With the slavers shut down in the alienage, the lot of the city-born elves improved for a time. The new king even named the local elder to his personal court, a scandal amongst the humans, but a sign of new hope to the elves.
Oh, come on.
Shiani continued to be an outspoken member of the alienage community, and in time became the new elder. That outspokenness earned her frequent trouble, but served her people well. Arliman remained in Denerim for some time, acting as the Chancellor and Chief Advisor to King Alistair. Tegan ruled over Redcliffe in his stead, and was surprised to find himself well-loved by the villagers, who were still grateful for the nights he spent defending their lives. In time, Eamon abdicated in favor of his brother, an event the locals greeted with approval and enthusiasm.
Nice.
The young woman Caitlin eventually made it to Denerim safely, and used the small fortune she received for her father's sword to open a foundry while the city rebuilt. The foundry did well, turning her into a wealthy and respected woman. By chance, she met Tegan at court, and within months the two of them married.
Nice!
Remember, you have to make very specific decisions to make that happen.
I'm glad we did it.
The Dalish elves prospered after the siege at Denerim, having earned much respect for their part in the battle, I'll say. For once, human lands welcomed the wandering folk. The new keeper, Lanaya, was respected both amongst the Dalish as well as in the Ferelden court. She was a voice of reason, and other Dalish clans would turn to her to help resolve disputes with the human folk. In time, many of the Dalish clans moved to the new land provided for them in the south near Ostagar. Wary of their human neighbors, however, tensions soon rose again, and only Keeper Lanaya's leadership kept peace alive.
Whoa.
In Orzammar, King Balin quickly proved himself a reformer. Trade with the Surfacer lands increased, and caste restrictions were loosened. The casteless were permitted to take arms against the Darkspawn in exchange for new freedoms. For the first time in generations, the line in the Deep Roads was pushed back, and a few taigs were reclaimed. Balin's reforms quickly found him enemies within the warrior and noble castes, however, and after several assassination attempts, the assembly was dissolved. The king then ruled alone, some said as a tyrant, others said as a visionary, determined to drag Orzammar into the modern world. Brother Burkle's new chantry in Orzammar drew a surprising number of converts among the dwarves. They quickly attracted a great deal of anger from more conservative quarters, and before long, the assembly severely restricted the Andrastians' rights.
Of course.
Brother Burkle resisted, and was slain while being arrested during a peaceful demonstration in the Commons. The Assembly claimed this was an accident, but news of the resulting riots reached the Chantry on the surface, where the Divine even contemplated a new exalted march. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
The Dwarven mage Dagna ultimately completed her studies at the rebuilt Circle Tower. Eventually, she published a comprehensive theory of how lyrium vapors relate to the supply of magic. It gained a great deal of attention. Although the Anvil of the Void was destroyed, rumors about its location crept into Orzammar. Years later, thanks to the defeat of the Darkspawn on the surface, a few determined smiths managed to locate the Anvil's remains.
Of course.
They examined the ruins of the Anvil, and upon returning to Orzammar with their findings, convinced the Shaper to attempt to recreate Caridin's research. A new golem was created, bound with a spirit taken from the Fade. The golem immediately went insane, killing several Shapers before it was destroyed. The research was branded excessively dangerous and sealed away. Whispers of its existence circulated throughout Orzammar, however, and demand among the Smith caste to reopen Caridin's research refused to abate.
Thank you.
As good as her word, Morrigan disappeared once the Archdemon was slain. Someone of Morrigan's description was seen traveling alone months later, heading west through the Frostback Mountains, and she may even have been with child. The companions who had traveled with Phoenix eventually scattered to the four winds, drawn either by personal duty or by the oh my goodness, I can't read this. The fall to further adventure. The hero remained in Denerim, a celebrity amongst the commoners and a fixture at court, at least for a time. As the blighted lands began to heal and the Grey Wardens slowly rebuilt the order in Amaranthine, they discovered that the fight against the Darkspawn was not yet complete. Although the Horde was routed and had dissolved upon the Archdemon's death, many of the more powerful Darkspawn survived to organize roving war bands that preyed both upon the land and upon each other. These warbands spread havoc, and some even journeyed west into Orlais or crossed the Shining Sea by the deep roads. They proved incredibly difficult to wipe out.
Just like a pest.
But these are tales yet to be told. This tale ended when Phoenix sank her blade into the Archdemon's head and destroyed it forever. It was not the last that Ferelden would hear of her, however. And that's Dragon Age Origins.
That was beautiful.
It was.
Nightmare difficulty can go jump off a cliff, though.
Yeah, Nightmare mode is... that was not what I expected it to be, let's say. But I finally did it. This Nightmare mode playthrough is over. Unless you want to do some expansion stuff.
Maybe another time.
I think so, yes. There are many additional modules you can play, essentially, to borrow the D&D term.
Nice.
There is Leliana Song, which is a prequel starring Leliana. There is the Dragon Age Awakening expansion, which is a whole new storyline. Not as long as the main game and not nearly as difficult, but it is there. After that came the Darkspawn Chronicles, which is a non-canon alternate universe.
Oh, really now?
Yeah, it's worth a shot at some point as well, I would say. Then you have the Golems of Amargarek DLC, which was made explicitly to provide a gameplay challenge and contains a super boss.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
And then finally, to cap off Dragon Age Origins, they created the Witch Hunt DLC, which involves Morrigan, and kind of teases what was to come in sequels, which kind of kickstarted an annoying trend of them creating a teaser for the next game in a DLC that you have to pay for. But yeah, we have seen all of the DLC that interacts with the main story. I don't know if I'm going to go to the expansion straight away because this has been fun. It's been great to introduce Ivan here to Dragon Age. But boy, was it exhausting to play a Nightmare.
Yeah, no. I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad that we were able to do it. But I think if I ever do get in Dragon Age Origins, I'm probably never going to do Nightmare for the life of me.
Yeah, stick to hard mode, please.
I'm okay with that. But no, like, as someone who's only ever heard of it passing both by you and by my best friend Dragon, who has played the Dragon Age, like, series since the beginning, like, I've heard a lot of promising things about this, but I just never had a chance to really see it myself, and now seeing it in full like this, I can see the appeal.
Yes.
Heck, I'm tempted to want to kind of go through it myself. Now, if only I had a console that could do it without lagging to heck and back.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely one of the earliest RPGs that I played, besides, like, Final Fantasy, where the characters were so enjoyable and fun to hang out with and great to talk to. And Dragon Age has so many moments where you can choose to do something really bad and the game actually has a realistic reaction to it, which I think just enhanced the world that you go through a lot more.
Absolutely.
Like, we could argue for ages about how much of an impact your choices within a game actually have. I think Dragon Age Origins did an excellent job with it, even considering all the limitations that they had to deal with.
If anything, like, I'm impressed, because to also add on to that, this is my first time really going through a BioWare game. I've heard about the pedigree they have, but I've never really seen for myself just, like, how good they are when it comes to storytelling, and the fact that they could do all this with just a single game and have all your actions and options matter, this is amazing.
Mm-hmm. That's the sad part, the stain upon it, is that it's really a tough act to follow, and they weren't even initially planning to do a sequel at all, because they didn't know if EA would allow it. So what happens is, Origins comes out, it does very, very well. Then Dragon Age 2 gets rushed within less than a year and a half by EA, and even though Dragon Age 2 has a lot of good in it, it's clear that it could have been so much more. And, like, following up Origins is really difficult.
It's a big shoe to fill, and at least from what I hear, 2 and 3 at least do a decent enough job.
Yes, Inquisition is also beloved for various reasons. The characters were still fun and funny and nice for the most part. It still had development problems, because I think at this point every AAA game ever is going to have troubles that it goes through. But at least they were given the time and resources, and it paid off for them.
I guess if anything, it kind of comes back to the reason why we started this playthrough to begin with, and I'll be the one to ask you this question. Do you think that Origin still has it after experiencing what Veilguard had?
I definitely think it does. There's a world of difference between Origins and Veilguard. I didn't want to spend the playthrough, like, dunking on Veilguard, because it's kind of a hot topic, but, like, Veilguard came out 10 years after Inquisition, which was 5 years after Origins, so a lot has changed, both at BioWare and with the gaming scene, basically. So, like, you can really feel the EA influence with Veilguard, I think.
Absolutely.
I mean, maybe it's not just the EA influence, it's just because many of the writers for Origins and 2 and Inquisition are just no longer at BioWare.
I think if I remember, a while back, we were actually checking the original writer for Dragon Age, and he actually left to start working on his own project.
Yeah.
Which, if anything, it kind of ties into what I wanted to mention, which we talked about this a bit before we started our playthrough for the final part today, is that I feel like where a lot of it falls is the fact that, like, a lot of companies just try to focus on trend setting rather than just letting creators do their own thing. You told me that at one point they wanted to make the next game after Inquisition essentially a live service game.
Yes, Veilguard had to go through a lot of stuff with getting canceled, restarted, and then canceled again. And at one point EA wanted to make it some kind of a live service thing, which... It's a single-player RPG series. I know Inquisition has a multiplayer component, and Mass Effect 3 does too, but, like, at least that was a side mode thing, as far as I know.
Yeah, like, I feel like what it really goes down to is the fact that they should just let creators be creative. They try to just follow so much of the trends that are happening nowadays, and that's not what makes it. A lot of great things, whether it's Dragon Age or many other games, got their pedigree because people saw the charm, the spark. Like, what really makes it good? Just because the writers wanted to really tell a story, not because they wanted to chase what was the next big thing.
Right. Writers and artists want to make their art, and the publisher wants the money. So, striking that very, very delicate and important balance is crucial to creating a masterpiece such as this.
Absolutely. And honestly, I think it can happen again. I mean, I'm actually curious to see what that project is that the original writer is working on now, just to kind of... I just want to see in general, like, all this. Also,
yes. No matter how much drama gets thrown out there, like, I do legitimately hope that talented writers and artists continue to find places where they can perfect their craft. Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me put it this way. Art and creativity has survived for generations, for millennia, for centuries. It'll always continue to survive and strive. It's just how it always is.
So with that, this has been one of the biggest playthroughs that I've ever had to do on YouTube. Like 30 hours of video. Or more even. So I don't know if I'm gonna, like, return to do the expansion content immediately. I think I want to take a break. Maybe do some, like, less big games. Because I do have ideas in that field.
And I'm more than happy to be here to experience them with you, man.
Aw, thank you, Ivan. You're a bro.
I've been meaning to say this. Like, for me, it's just the fact that if I can ever get a chance to just hang out with a good friend, just sit down, watch, even if it's just watching them play through some of their favorite games, to me, that's a really good day.
It's a good day for me, too, that I can show you all of the relatively obscure games out there that I've come up with to play on YouTube.
Hey, man, like, you know, that's what you say. You're just being an artist, trying to show what you love.
Mm-hmm. But boy, oh boy, I'm ready to relax after that.
I mean, we can finally relax. The Darkspawn's been dealt with until the next Blight, but that's their problem, not ours for now.
Until the expansion, until like somebody does something weird. I don't know.
That's how most bad things usually start. I guess, remind me. So this game doesn't have a post game, right?
Oh yeah. So let me fix the lighting. Is it like the thing faded out slightly because the controller was just sitting there. So what happens is after the game has been saved, after beating it, you can return to the camp and then you can talk with your companions. Oddly, Shale wasn't at the party, was she?
No.
Huh. Well, you can go back to the camp and talk with everybody, and you can also revisit any quest areas or DLC areas. The main areas, I think, are blocked off. And then when you want to start the expansion, you can just import your character. So that's how that works.
Oh. Gotcha.
In fact, you know what? Why don't I spoil something about the expansion? So, like, how would you import your character if you had died killing the Archdemon?
Good question.
The answer to that is, if that happened in your playthrough, you actually have the option of just rolling up a new character completely, and they will have a different origin than anything you could have chosen for the main game.
That is...
So, like, that's the level of detail here.
Also, that cemented it. Yeah, no. Dragon Age Origin devs, major D&D fans, and I love you so much, because, fun fact, that's kind of also how you set up new characters in a story as well.
Well, sure.
Like, I mean, like, in D&D, yeah, if your character gets knocked out, if there's a case where they might be dead, then you might need to re-roll a new one. There's always chances to revive them, of course, but, like, that's really clever. Man, I love this so much.
Me too. Yeah. I don't remember how I got introduced to this. I think someone told me Oblivion was better, and I was like, I gotta see if that's true, right?
Again, I've only ever heard it from passing from... Well, I shouldn't just say from passing. He's a big fan of the series, and in fact, the first time I ever heard about Dragon Age is the fact that he said he wanted to do Dragon Age Origins for his 100th Platinum.
Wow.
He loves the series that much.
If he's gonna platinum it, like, how do you determine what platinum means, actually?
Sorry, it's because he has the PlayStation version, and a platinum trophy in that basically means 100% all trophies.
Okay, that's quite the story. This is the Xbox version, and I presume that just means getting all the achievements.
Yes, platinum just means all achievements, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, it's called platinum because the platinum trophy...
Oh, and one other thing, by the way, shoutouts to Peter Renaday. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. The voice actor for Duncan, he is no longer with us.
Aw, bless his soul.
Mm-hmm. Kate Mulgrew, Tim Curry, like, Claudia Black, Steve Bloom. Amazing cast. I don't know if they credit every single NPC. Oh, but they do have just the list of all the actors. Wait, John Curry?
Yeah, there was a lot. John Curry.
No idea.
I'm trying to see if there's anyone else here I recognize. But I was trying to think. Yeah, no, like, essentially, Platinum Trophy, you only get one for every game, and essentially you get that once you've completed the entire trophy list, essentially. Also, Jim Cummings.
Oh, really? Who would that be?
Well, no, I see his name in the additional voices.
Yeah. But, like, do you know that from somewhere?
The name's familiar. I might have to look that up. There's a lot of names here, so there might be some that just kind of passed my mind.
Yeah, definitely a lot of them. Like, I could go on and on about voice actor trivia, but my favorite actress was in the expansion, so...
I guess we'll see. Also, yes, I remember now. Jim Cummings is the voice of Tigger. Right!
You are kidding me with that.
No! Jim Cummings is known for having a very like wide variety. He doesn't let himself be role casted. He does anything if given the chance.
So we went from plush tiger to Spanish elf assassin?
Let me put it this way. This isn't even the most out there. Do you know of the Splatterhouse remake that came out like a decade ago?
I'm not a Splatterhouse player. What's that about?
He voiced the Mask in that, which the Mask is known as being the most dirty mouth thing in existence.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine?
That's why when I saw it, it's like, why is that name familiar? And then it came back to me, and I'm like, oh my god, of course he did. Love you, man.
Oh, that's amazing.
Like I said, dude doesn't let himself be typecasted. It's amazing.
Not like Tim Curry, right? Villain for the ages.
But I mean, I guess on that note, yeah, I am impressed by the voice cast they had here, especially because I know they probably had the pedigree of being known as the Baldur's Gate guys, but still,
and Mass
having
Effect
that much trust
recently, shortly after too.
Right, but I mean, they would still have been working in the project while Mass Effect was coming out. That's what I mean.
Exactly. That's why Dragon Age 2 is known for kind of taking a lot from Mass Effect.
Oh,
because like by the time Dragon Age 2 came out, like they had their sort of BioWare system solidified, I would say, with regards to like conversations and plot progression.
And then Mass Effect 2 took a lot from Dragon Age 2, and then
did it?
No, I don't know. I just making a joke. It'd be funny though.
MMO group got me there.
RPG MMO. Well, to be fair, the battle system kind of does play like an MMO at times.
True.
Then again, this is also the EA staff, so it might just be like from their branch.
Oh yeah, they did have an MMO at one point. It was a Star Wars MMO.
Oh yeah,
they made a Star Wars RPG that really got attention back in the day.
I wish I followed more Star Wars to let you know, honestly.
Uh-huh.
If anything, I'm kind of impressed by how that these credits are still going. They had a lot of people working on this.
Did it loop or something? I can't really see.
No, because we just got to the EA group.
Is this longer than the Mighty Number 9 credits?
I don't think anything will be as long as that. And you say that, but it also reminds me that Bloodstained tends to have a long credit scene for a similar reason.
Well, gosh, I'm going to run out of things to talk about.
I'll give him this. This is some really nice credits music. Is this licensed?
I think it was, yeah. I think they had a licensed song at one point for trailers and stuff. I'm sure. I guess I could click away from the screen here to see.
It's still going, yeah. I'll get this. This is good music. If anything, this kind of takes me back to like the 2010s and the 2000s era. Back when... I've never played this game, but it's making me nostalgic. What the hell?
Product of its time, I guess.
Oh, I miss those days. And I kind of miss the fact that I didn't get to experience that much.
Music of Dragon Age Origins. Can't really tell if any of these are licensed.
You got me. I mean, I assume they would have the band names, like, linked to it.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, yeah. Also, there's always, like, that post, like, game motions where it's like, man, this was a great game, and it was a fun playthrough. Now what do I do?
Figure out what to do next.
Oh, come on. I don't have that many games to play like this. Okay, that's a lie. I do. But, like, I don't know what to start. And you showing me Dragon Age is not helping. I still need to play through Elden Ring and Yakuza. I don't know. I'll definitely put Origin on that list, and that's going to make Dragon very happy. And probably give me a million questions to go through.
You would be able to try a different Origin, because there's like 5 others that I never showed off. They're mostly pretty good.
No, I heard, because, like, you told me how different the Origins themselves are, which also is pretty dang impressive. Most places, an Origin just gives you minor buffs, and that's it.
Yeah. In fact, I might as well go on a little tangent about that. There are games like Elder Scrolls that just drop you into the world. Maybe you've got some kind of a background in your head or something, but with what Dragon Age Origins has done by giving you an entire prologue to play through and letting you choose one of 6. Did I mention, by the way, that there was a 7th Origin cut from the game?
What's that one?
That would be the Human Commoner.
Wow. So just starting as a civilian.
Yeah. You would be like a farm worker, and Darkspawn would ravage your lands, and then Duncan suggests, hey, you want to take the fight to them? Join the Grey Wardens!
We want you to join the Grey Wardens.
Mm-hmm.
God, I guess in a way... See, I know I keep mentioning back to D&D, but honestly, it's just because they really took what works with D&D and really enhance on it. D&D has a similar thing where you can like choose a background for your character, but it really is nothing but for pure flavor text. Like, you can choose to obey it or not, but it's there if you want it. And here they took that and it's like, no, we're gonna make it mean something, and they made it worth something, dude.
They did. They definitely did.
You know, in fact, I'm gonna ask, do you know if Dragon Age ever made like any modules for D&D, or if there are any fan-made modules for it?
There is a Dragon Age tabletop game.
Okay, I need to know what that's all about then.
Oh, here we go. Music credits.
Love song. I am the one. I am the love. This is War. Performed by 30 Seconds to Mars. That's where it is.
That's what it is.
And you know what? A really fitting song. I think we're getting to the end of it, though.
Look at these dates. 2002 to 2007 is their development cycle, I think. It was like a really long period of 6 years, but well worth it in the end.
Definitely. This is definitely a labor of love.
Mm-hmm. Now, I swear if the credits loop back to the start, I am just cutting this video right now. Okay, there we go. Title screen. That is it for Dragon Age Origins, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for joining us on this adventure. And now I need to cool off, get something to drink, preferably not Darkspawn blood.
You already had your fill of that. You'll be fine.
And whatever happens next on my channel, I hope you'll be there for that too. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. With me, as always, has been...
Remember Pluto and Mars, aside from Venus. Anyone can become the knight. The size 2 fish is real, and the cake is a lie!
I'm Ephraim 225, and this is Ivan. We'll see you for whatever video I make next. Later, everyone. Have a good night.
Night.